Rise with India podcast on ET Now.
Good morning and thanks so much for listening in. This is the Daily Morning Update from ET Now and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 30th of August. Happy Monday to you. The top news that will have a bearing on markets at the start of the week is the speech by Fed Chair Jerome Powell at the Jackson Hole Symposium that was held on Friday. Powell said that the U.S. Central Bank could begin slowing down asset purchases this year as the U.S. economy recovers from the pandemic, but it won't be in a hurry to raise interest rates. He sounded a note of caution about employment levels and stuck to the central bank's message that the current bout of inflation is due to, in part, supply chain disruptions brought by COVID-19 and likely to be transitory. He didn't provide a specific timeline for starting scaling back the Fed's $120 billion per month bond buying. Back home, rising cases of COVID-19 are causing a bit of a concern. As many as 45,083 people tested positive for COVID-19 in the 24 hours to 8 a.m. on Sunday, according to the Health Ministry's latest update. Daily new cases have remained above the 44,000 mark for the fourth day in a row now. Speaking of COVID-19, Bharti Airtel, which has been producing the Covaxin vaccine against the virus, has started production at another facility in Ankleshwar, Gujarat. The company plans to make 200 million doses of the vaccine per year at the plant. The higher production is sure to aid vaccination efforts. As of Sunday, as many as 63.09 crore vaccines have been administered in the country. The government has extended the suspension of international commercial passenger flights to and from India till at least the 30th of September. In other news, the Securities and Exchange Board of India has barred Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company from launching any new fixed maturity plans for 6 months. The regulator found that the AMC invested in zero-coupon non-convertible debentures of insignificant and financially handicapped entities of SL Group, including Conti Infra Power and Multi Ventures and Edison Utility Works Private Limited. IT services firms have started staggering their intake of freshers through the year in order to be more responsive to the changing business environment. At the start of the previous fiscal, several firms had deferred onboarding freshers on account of the uncertainty in the business environment. But now, as services firms deal with a talent crunch, the sector is expected to onboard over 1 lakh freshers through the course of this year. That's a report by the Economic Times. In an update on commodities, the increase in oil output agreed last month by the OPEC Plus nations could be reconsidered at the next meeting that's scheduled to be held on the 1st of September, and that's according to Kuwait's oil minister, who said this on Sunday. The OPEC and its allies will meet on Wednesday to discuss the previously agreed on increase of 400,000 barrels per day for the next several months. Oil prices rose over the weekend as Hurricane Ida shut crude production at the Gulf of Mexico. As of this morning, Brent crude was trading at $71.68 to the barrel. And with that, it's over to Rohit Singh for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Rohit. How are we looking today?
Good morning, Alex. The reassuring comments from the US Fed have eased concerns about a rate hike. This comes even as the tapering of bond buying will begin earlier than previously projected. It seems unlikely that we would see any taper tantrum this time around. That relief has set the markets up for a positive start. We had ended higher for 5th day, and this was the 3rd week of gains out of the last 4. Mid and the small cap indices seem to have regained momentum as they snap a couple of weeks of losing streak. The IT index was the star performer of the week gone by. The options picture is indicating an immediate trading range between 16,500 and 17,000. FIIs were net sellers of shares worth about 780 crore rupees, while DIIs were net buyers of shares worth about 1,650 crore rupees. US stocks rallied on Friday, nudging Wall Street to record highs. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's comments at Jackson Hole also eased worries over the taper and its impact on interest rate. Dow ended almost 0.2% higher. Let's tell you about the active stocks this morning. Bharti Airtel plans to raise about 21,000 crore rupees by selling shares to existing investors. It plans to raise cash reserves to pay statutory dues, expand network, and prepare for 5G auctions. Maruti Suzuki is expected to slash its production for September as lockdowns in Malaysia aggravate the global shortage of semiconductors. State Bank of India is set to raise up to 4,000 crore rupees by selling additional Tier 1 bonds this week, the first such sale by a lender in the local market this fiscal. Realty developer Prestige Group has acquired over 2 crores of land parcel in South Mumbai for 185 crore rupees as part of its plan to develop more projects in Mumbai. Indraprastha Gas has raised prices of CNG by 90 paisa per kg and that of piped natural gas used for cooking by 1 rupee 25 paisa per unit. Power Ministry may allow Tata Power and Adani Power to sell electricity on the power exchanges in an effort to ease coal and power situation. Tesla is in talks with at least 3 Indian suppliers to source critical parts as part of its plan to enter the Indian market, according to the Economic Times. Future Retail has filed a petition in the Supreme Court against a Delhi High Court order that had put on hold the proposed future Reliance Retail deal. This week, the street will also watch out for Q1 GDP numbers. QOQ, we may see a contraction due to the COVID second wave, but indicators suggest an uptick in the month of July and August. For today, expect an upbeat start as the taper tensions may have cooled off for a while, but we are perched at 16,700 and some profit booking is always around the corner. That's all from my end. Wish you all a profitable day ahead. Thank you for listening in. It's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Rohit. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
The Rise with India podcast on ET Now.